Welcome to Healthier, Happier Hour. Ooh, ooh, ooh. I'm Kiersten.
I'm Carli, and we are so excited that you're here. We are going to help you get healthy and feel better, connect in your relationships, and enjoy your life.
Awesome. I love it. Okay, so what are we drinking over there, Carli?
Well, me and my...
Oh, no. You
Yes.
once said it was fiber water. I hope to God it's not fiber water, because
It's not fiber water.
freaking fiber water would it.
This is not a Metamucil. It's fiber water. This is not that.
Okay, I
This
knew
is Poppy.
I
Thank
knew
you
it was
very much. Sponsor me. This is
Isn't it
Poppy. It is a lovely orange soda.
It looks great.
It is an orange soda, and I paired it with some ice cubes. And a fun little straw and a cocktail glass because it makes it fun and it makes me happy.
I love it. It's so funny because I go, Ethan, of course, signature Kiersten move, running behind. I'm like, all right, I need to get my drink. I did it. And he's like, what kind of drink are we talking?
A good one. What is it?
So here's what we have. Don't be underwhelmed.
Okay. I might just be whelmed.
Okay. So we have spa water.
Ooh.
It did have ice in it, but the ice has already melted, apparently.
You paired it with ice.
I paired it with some ice and some cucumbers and strawberry in there.
Love it.
And so spa water makes me happy, but I have to say, as a mom, this has happened multiple times, which I don't know how it could have happened twice. It feels like it's a record. But one night, well, actually 2 nights during dinner, this has happened, not consecutively, because that would just be freakish. We all had our glasses of water eating dinner, and as you know, the dinner table can get chaotic sometimes.
Just a bit.
Somehow, I don't know, I could have been the problem. It could have been me.
Me, hi.
Someone on the table, me or one of my kids, definitely not Ethan, literally threw a cucumber across the table to someone else. It landed in my water, and I'm like, perfect, spa water. We're ready. We're good.
We're winning. It's great.
We are winning. So cheers.
Give me more.
Cheers.
Cheers to that.
All right.
Delicious.
I like it.
Delicious non-Metamucil. Nothing wrong, by the way, if you're drinking Metamucil, which I used to do at a different point in my life. Let's not talk about it.
Let's not talk about it.
But I just want to say there's nothing wrong with you if you're drinking Metamucil.
You're welcome here.
This is not that. This is Poppy. And it's delicious.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing. You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you for that. Okay. Yeah. So here's the deal. I'm going to play a wild card here.
Oh, shoot.
I have 2 options for where we're going to go today. And it's always a surprise to the other one, so that's nothing new there.
Me being the other one.
Here. The other one. The other one. And then next week, I will be the other one.
The other one.
So here's the deal. I want to hear your cheers or tears. And then I have 2 options here. Oh, you couldn't read that fast. Good. That we're going to go with that is going to help us build or begin again or get through resistance your version of healthier, happier. So boom. But first, drum roll, please. Let's hear your cheers or tears.
Cheers or tears.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, first, can I have a quick side note?
Yeah, please. And tell them if they're new here, like why we.
Okay. Yes. So if you're listening for the first time, or maybe you've just caught the end of an episode before, we do this every single episode, and it's honestly one of my favorite parts because we know how important it is to share the struggles, to share the wins. Sometimes we just need to feel like somebody else is alongside of us in this crazy, chaotic journey of life. Someone else has experienced the struggle or the win with us. We want to celebrate the wins. We want to be excited for you. We want to be excited with you. It's fun, right? It's exciting when we take a step forward, when we are winning, when we are making moves and somebody else can say, hey, yeah, that's awesome. Like, go girl. That's
Yeah.
amazing. Keep going. And we get that motivation, right? And on the other side, when we are struggling or just having a moment of like, oh man, this is so hard and this sucks,
Yeah.
or whatever it is, like the pain that we feel, temporary as it may be, it's nice to have somebody say, oh yeah, me too. I've been there. Or, oh yeah, I feel that. You got it. Get back up. Keep going. We can do this together. And so we share like real life cheers, wins, or tears, the pain, the struggle, the challenges, moments here, right?
Yeah.
Because we experience them too. And we want you to know that you're not alone in them. Sometimes they're really ridiculous and chaotic. And sometimes, they're real challenges that we experience and they're moments that are hard or heartfelt. And so we just want to invite you into our lives as well and let you know that you're not alone in whatever it is that you're facing, whether it's good or bad. And so we do this part of the show every single week. We love it. It's important to us. And we want to invite you to also, as you're listening, think about what are the wins, what are the cheers, what are the tears moments in your own life, and how can you use those as motivators to keep moving to a healthier, happier life, because that's what we're all about at the end of the day.
Yeah. Awesome. I love that. What a
Yeah.
great explanation. Perfect.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I was thinking about, okay, it's my turn to share this week. I was literally thinking about this as I was like furiously putting on some lip gloss, which is a literal tear because my friend gave it to me. She didn't want it. It's a plumping lip gloss. And now I know why she didn't want it.
Oh, wow. Is it
Literal
like,
pain.
oh,
Like,
it
it
sparks?
hurts, but like you can't get it off.
Right.
Anyway,
Like burning. Is it burning your lips right now?
it's tingling. Yeah. It's not a great feeling.
Yeah.
Not a great feeling.
Interesting.
So that's not the tear I was going to share. But as I was putting this on, I was thinking about how sometime in the future we need to have an entire episode dedicated to maybe like our top 5 or top 10 cheers or tears moments
So
from
far.
our own lives. Yeah, that we've collected.
Yeah.
Because we've got some winners.
Terrible.
Anyway, okay, so I'm throwing that out there.
I love
So,
it.
tears moment. This is actually real life yesterday. It sounded so good. It's a tears.
Okay.
It's not a
I
cheer.
think that lip plumper just made you have a teeny lisp. It's amazing.
Well, it might have because maybe my lips are a little bit numb. Also, as a child, I had a lisp, so there's that.
She's like, oh no, Kiersten, you've triggered
It's
me.
returned.
No, you're good. You're good. Okay,
Lisp.
really yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. No, yesterday. This is a real tears moment. Brooks and I, my husband, were talking over the weekend about how like spring is coming. There's all these fun activities. The weather's been gorgeous. We're like, we really need to sit down, like look at our calendar. We don't want to do anything crazy, but like, let's just plan out a couple like fun things over the next few months. There's a ton of free, like great activities like in our town. Like, let's just look at the calendar and pick a handful that we think the kids would enjoy and just be intentional about like doing some of them, just exploring, adventuring different things. We're like, great, let's do it. Totally. Sounds awesome.
It sounds like
We
it's
don't-
so far. Just saying. It's
Okay.
about to turn.
This is just the idea. This was just the conversation.
Oh, okay.
So that sparked everything. So we don't do any of them over the weekend. I mean, we went hiking and did some really fun stuff. But anyhow, yesterday he calls me on the way home from school pickup and he's like, hey, do you want to go to, this one place to go hiking with the kids? And I'm like, right now? Like today? Like right now? He's like, yeah. It was beautiful outside yesterday, by the way. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, okay. Yeah, great. Okay. I'm like exhausted because none of us really slept well. The kids were tired. I'm like, Sure, let's just do it. Yeah, let's just power through. We're gonna do it. It'll be great.
Let's go for
Yeah.
it.
hmm
Oh no.
It was not great. It was not great.
So
Let
you
me
did
just
it.
jump ahead.
Okay.
We all get in the car. We pack some sandwiches. This is after school, after work, but it's
Yeah.
like, 4-ish o'clock we arrive
This
at the
is
trails.
very ambitious of you so far. I'm just saying.
This is not a far drive from where we live,
Okay.
but it's 4 o'clock. We
Yeah.
arrive. We pull in. We have sandwiches packed for the kids. We're like, we don't want to deal with hangry kids. So let's
Yeah.
definitely plan ahead. Like, we need the snacks. We need
Oh.
dinner on hand just in case. We're like proud of ourselves. We're like, yes,
Yeah.
we're totally crushing it as parents right now.
Yeah.
Doing something fun on a school night. Totally rad. No, not totally rad. We pull in and Brooks is like, so did you see that sign right there as we drive into the parking lot? And I'm like, yeah, I sure did. He's like, okay, cool. I'm like, yeah, the trail's closed in like 20 minutes. 20 minutes. I'm like, great. Okay. So we hop out. We're like booking it over across the parking lot. Like, we're just still gonna do it. We're just sticking to the plan. We're
Yeah.
still gonna do it. We're gonna push through. We get over to the little nature center, and the guide is like very clearly trying to steer us away from the trails. Like, oh, you guys should go check out this historic home up there. There's a really cool field. You can run around and it'll be so fun for the kids.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right, fine, that's great. We'll go check out the historic home. He's like, oh yeah, they do events in there. You can explore. Can't explore. It's totally boarded up. Totally
Oh,
boarded up. There's also some
kids are
people.
like haunted house.
Yeah, I'm like, let me get over there.
Oh
There's
my
some people like in weird costumes running around, like running away from the house. I'm like, was there an event here? There's people in odd costumes running away
goodness.
into the woods in different directions. I feel
This is
concerned.
not Halloween.
This this is not Halloween. We're very far away from Halloween. I'm like, oh, what are we doing? Brooks is like trying to make it fun. He's like, guys, come on, come over here, come look at this. Our kids are young.
Yeah.
He walks over towards a little cemetery. I'm
Oh.
like, this is not a good idea. This isn't a good idea. He's like, look at this. Look how cool this is. Immediately, I'm like, no, 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 no. Starting to explain to them. We'll just leave that one there.
Yep.
He immediately starts to understand, like, oh, that was a bad move. He's like, well, let's go over here and look at this trail. Anyway, it just continues, like one thing after another. We're there maybe 10 minutes.
Okay.
Maybe 10 minutes. The kids run around.
Yeah.
We get in the car. We're like, well, this was an
Oh.
epic failure. This was a total fail. Like, it was fine, but it was
Yeah.
not at all what we expected. So we're like, you know what? It's fine. We can just totally keep on going. We're just it's 4:15. I mean, the night is young.
Yeah.
The night is young. We're
Right.
just on our way home. We'll make a little pit stop at another playground park. We're in the car. Our daughter is like, guys, that was really boring. Please don't ever take me to a park like that again. We're like, the good news is we're going to go to another park that will be way more fun. On the way, our son falls asleep in the car, which never happens, by the way. As
Okay.
I'm like, we have a 10-minute drive and he falls asleep. What is happening?
Yeah.
She starts crying.
Oh
We
boy.
pull into the parking lot. She's crying because we arrive at the playground. We're
Yeah.
like, scrap it. We're going home. This
Yeah.
is the end. We are done.
And calling it. Cut.
And that's
Saying what
it.
she was
End scene.
at home.
Family fun night has come to an early end. We're driving home. We're going to eat our sandwiches in the backyard, and we did our best. And you know what?
Wait. So you
There's no
like
learning
the
experience
sandwiches?
here.
I mean,
There's no learning experience. We did our best. Everyone, that's it. That's all. It's
Yeah.
okay.
I
There was
mean,
no silver lining.
no.
And it's fine.
I see some silver linings. I'm just saying. So
All right. Tell me what it was.
it happens to us all, and
It
I
does.
just keep every turn in the story. I'm just so impressed that you were like, you guys both were like, okay, no, let's keep going. Let's go. Let's keep
Let's
going.
just keep going.
That's funny. So that actually leads perfectly. I was looking for clues. Okay, first of all, we have like I think we should just cheers anyway, even though that was the tears. We're cheers. We're
Cheers to our.
cheers.
Mm.
Um so anyway, that I was looking for clues in your story of what we were supposed to talk about because I had, that list of 2 or 3 that I was like, "Oh, what could we talk about?"
Where are we going? Yeah.
And the clues led to
Mm.
I want to dig into and ask you some questions on the feeling of you're in the spot where you're not where you want to be. So that was one of the clues. You're not where you want to be, but kind of how to enjoy life. That's like part of our thing, like enjoying life when you're not where you want to be.
Yeah.
So like let's kind of dig into that a little bit. And because that is something that we believe so much in that we put it in our mission
Yeah.
as one of like the pillars, what we're all about here at Healthier, Happier Hour. So, and I know you and I are both driven and, you know, believe in growth. And so
Mm-hmm.
we don't want people to be like, oh, not have that growth mindset and just kind of, there's that balance, right? So a lot
Yeah.
of times, when we work with people and even I'll, myself too, with balancing that like desire for growth and desiring something better for my family or my client or the situation and enjoying the present and enjoying the journey, as cliche as that sounds. It's so important, right? Because there are so many moments we can all pull out of our life that it didn't happen as we thought it would.
Mm.
And it could either be like, oh, that was terrible. And it was just like one thing after another. And then it didn't happen as we thought it would. And it was like, that was so incredible. I couldn't plan it different or better. Uh,
Yeah.
so let's just first, I want you to get vulnerable with us, if you would, and say
Totally.
where you stand personally on that. Like, how easy or hard is it for you to
Mm.
enjoy life when you are expecting and wanting something different for this particular area? So talk to us a little bit about that and how you feel and how like you are personally on that.
Yeah, no, that's such a good question. And the timing is so good because this is something I was just like journaling about earlier today, like this morning, literally this morning.
Wow. See?
Like, I know. I'm like, oh, are you,
Uh,
Kiersten, are you spying on me? Um, were you over here earlier today? Yeah. So it's such a good question. And one that I think even I hesitate asking myself because I think it challenges me in a
Mhm.
lot of different ways. You know what I mean? Like it can be tough to ask ourselves that, like, how am I enjoying life? Or
Mhm.
not even how, take away the how, like even just back up a step. Like, am I enjoying my life right now? Because that alone,
Ah,
being really honest about that question might mean, depending upon what the answer is, it forces you to really evaluate all the different, aspects of your life and then get honest with yourself about what are the places that I'm not enjoying my life,
mhm.
and then start thinking about, well, what are the root causes of why I'm not enjoying my life?
Yeah.
And do I have control over those root causes? There's always some control that we have, right? And so
Yeah.
then it puts some of that responsibility back on us.
Huh.
And sometimes we don't want to face that. So even just like asking that question of like, am I enjoying my life?
Yeah.
Where am I not enjoying it? What am I, but at the same time asking, like, what are the good things? Like, what am I enjoying, but what am I not enjoying?
Yeah.
Because that might force us into looking at the big picture and saying, like, well, where do I need to pivot in some way? And that is
Where do I need to
scary.
pivot? Where do I want to show up differently?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of times we avoid. That's really
Yeah.
powerful. Okay. So a couple things like, wow, this is so good. So just like giving yourself the gift of this moment or writing it down if you can. But I mean, I just love to do something in the moment. So what you asked is like, deep breath. Am I enjoying my life? And then doing some thought around that, doing some journaling around that. Even sometimes, like certain people are like numbers people, like what percentage am I enjoying my life? Like,
Yeah.
am I enjoying 100% of my life? Like, am I enjoying it to the, fullest? Or if I am I down like closer to like 20%? Like, how much of your day and week in the last
Mhm.
month do you feel like you're enjoying your life? And that can look different for different people.
Mhm.
Oh, that's so, so good. And then you talked about all sorts of different ways to process it that maybe we'll get into. Um, do you think, let's say someone is raising their hand and they say, like, okay, sure, Carly and Kiersten, I'll try that little exercise and everything, but in general,
Mhm.
I am not enjoying my life. What would
Mhm.
you say to him or her or them?
Yeah. I mean, I think, well, there's a lot of questions, a lot of things I would want to know first,
Yeah.
right? Like, I'd want to be figuring out, like, okay, what are the places that you're not enjoying, right? Like, talk to me about what are the things that you're experiencing, right? That are a struggle, the things that are difficult. Let's get really, really clear and honest about that. Like, let's
Yeah.
not be vague. Let's not be, ambiguous. Let's get really, really clear and specific, right? We talk about that all the time. Like,
Yep.
we need to be specific. We can't just say, oh, I don't like my work, or oh, I'm unhappy with, you know, my health. Like, let's get really, really nitty gritty about this. Or, oh, I'm unhappy with my community or my friendships or my
We guide
relationships.
you through that. We guide you through that in our
Yes.
process. So don't feel overwhelmed by that. That is totally normal to at
Yeah.
first to really not I mean, a lot of people I talk to can't at first, really even verbalize specificity until we kind of take them through some of the process. So
Mhm.
no worries if that's you right now, but yeah, you're right. Like let's get specific. The
Yeah.
places, the times.
Like,
Okay.
kind of peeling back some of those layers. And then, sometimes I think it's it's a matter of it's hard when you're not dealing with like one specific person, but
Yeah.
like, we're not talking to one specific person. We're When you are, you know them and you know that situation. But in general, it's sometimes a matter of figuring out, okay, well, is this thing or this situation, this experience, this struggle that you're having, that's kind of like holding you back from enjoying your life a little bit? The thing that maybe you want to change or you want to pivot in,
Yeah.
or maybe, you need to let go of, or whatever it is. Like,
Right.
something has to shift a little bit.
Yeah.
Um, I think for each person, there's a question there of, like, what is the reality of that situation? And what I mean by that is sometimes the reality is different than what we are telling ourselves.
Okay.
And sometimes the reality of the situation is different than what we are actually experiencing. So, like, our emotions connected to our experiences, our thoughts connected to our experiences are true, but sometimes we let them like blow up and tell a whole new story,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
and they like morph into their own whole new big thing.
Yeah.
And they take a small part of our life and make it into a way bigger, scarier thing than what it really is. Right. And so, what I mean by like, what is the reality is asking, like, okay, what is really true about this situation or this thing that I'm experiencing? Like, what are the facts of what I'm experiencing? And how can I detangle those from
Okay.
what my emotions are and what my thoughts are? And that's not to say that like your emotions are not true. That's not what I'm saying. That's not to say that what you're thinking about it is not true. But sometimes like breaking those things apart a little bit
Yeah.
helps you to see it in a different way. And that can help you get clear on, okay, now that I've like distangled this a little bit, I can see a little bit more clearly, like what could be maybe my first step, my first next step, or like what is the thing? Is this really as big of a deal as what I think it is?
Mhm.
Is it as big of a problem or as big of a hurdle as it feels like it is? Sometimes the answer is still going to be yes, but sometimes it might be like, this isn't as scary as I thought, or
Yeah.
this isn't as intense as it felt initially. And
Right.
sometimes it's just a matter of like detangling the reality and the facts from, the emotions and the feelings and the thoughts that we have from the experiences that surround that. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And I think like what I'm hearing too is it can give you a clue and a step in the direction to go. And you don't need to know the whole path. You don't even
Yeah.
know like I think I think that's really awesome. And I like the word you keep using about detangling, right?
Mhm.
And I
Yeah.
think that can be such a powerful thing. And you're going to hear me say this over and over and over again is to get support when you're doing things that you haven't done before,
Yeah.
right? And I think that is the biggest gift that the older I get, the more I give to myself and the more that I just really advocate and encourage my friends, my clients, my family members to do and to continue to like where can we raise the bar on this? Like where can we to use like gym terms of like
Mhm.
where can we up level? Like where can we put a bigger or more weight on the bar when with your generosity of support for you because once you start giving support and love are like these glorious things that it doesn't take away from someone else when you give yourself support and love it actually allows you to give more it just elevates everything
Yeah.
so I mean that is what just like keeps on coming to my head and heart when you're talking about these really, really powerful things because I know in reality, when it comes right down to it, anything we haven't done before, it's helpful and great to have a guide. It's helpful to have support and to really keep on just like, what if I was
Mhm.
more generous to the people around me and more generous to myself with support and love? And I think you would be delighted if you just keep on challenging yourself to like, how could I be more generous with love and support and all your resources, really, to yourself and others? Um, is there any practice that you have to help you enjoy your life
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
you love to do or encourage other people to do? What do you think?
Yeah, such a good question. I was just thinking about that as you were talking about like being generous and like, because what we're talking about is like can be or it can sound like heavy or just like,
Mhm.
oh, like what am I not enjoying about my life? Sounds like the opposite of enjoying my life. You know what I mean? It
Okay.
can it can sound that way.
Yeah.
Um, but it's also like a gateway into allowing you to like live a better life because It's opening up your eyes. So initially it's going to feel like a little bit uncomfortable, and that's okay. So I want to just first like take a second to say, if you start, taking some of these steps, or you start, taking some of these suggestions or putting some of this into practice or experimenting with this, and you feel like uncomfortable or like, this doesn't feel like I'm enjoying things,
Yeah, yeah.
that is normal.
Yeah,
Because anytime that you're changing something or shifting things around, like, it is going to feel different and it is going to feel uncomfortable, and that is normal.
yeah,
But on the other side, that's where you're really going to be able to start to see, like, okay, hold on, this is going to lead into something better. So in that moment of like discomfort, while you're also starting to question and get clarity around, like, how can I like enjoy my life? One of my favorite practices to do with people and with clients is creating like gratitude, in different ways, right? Like looking for ways to enjoy and practice just this perspective really of gratitude. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
throughout the day, and that can be a variety of different things. That can be gratitude in what you're experiencing. That can be gratitude in even like what you're, I hesitate to use the word like accomplishing, but things that you're proud of in
yeah.
a sense. So
Mhm.
it doesn't have to be accomplishments, but it could just be things that you're proud of throughout the day for yourself, for doing or trying, or the way that you're showing up. It doesn't have to be task oriented or success oriented necessarily. And things that you have, experiences that you are engaging in, conversations that you're having with people. So that could be as simple as like at the end of the day, before you go to bed, spending 3 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, whatever feels good to you, in a notebook, in a note in your phone, in a voice memo to yourself, in a text to a good friend, and just saying like, even, to your spouse. Like my sister and her husband do this every single night before bed.
Oh,
They lay in bed and tell each other 3 things that they are just thankful for,
yeah,
and it develops this attitude of like, okay, even at the end of this like crazy horrible day, or this wonderful day, or this chaotic time with our kids yesterday,
yeah,
well, it's like, at least we tried, like we tried, we did our
yeah,
best. Um, and so you can still look for the things that are good that are happening in the moments that are good throughout the day. And that starts to build, right? It's just like when you're at the gym and you're doing like little reps, right? That's what builds the muscle over time
yeah,
and enlarges it and makes you stronger. And it's the same thing here. You're looking for things. And the more that you look for those things, the more that you're going to see them and the more that you're going to recognize them. If you're looking for the negative and you're looking for the hard and the crappy only,
yeah,
right? Like
yeah,
that's what you're going to find.
yep,
And so it's training your brain to see those good things and those positive things. And that's not to ignore the other stuff, right? But
no,
it is just to give you a frame of, what am I enjoying? What feels good to me? What is making me healthier? What is making me happier? So that's one practice. The other one, I would just even ask yourself, like, what made me healthier and happier today?
yeah, yeah,
Like, what made my life healthier? What made my life happier today?
yep,
What am I proud of?
yep,
Simple question.
yep,
Two
exactly.
easy things.
And that's perfect. I love that. Well, that cues me right up to say today, one of our traditions, and I want you to, sometimes we say in the last hour, but I'm going to allow you the whole day up until now, Carly. What was healthy for you and what was happy? Let's do both. What was healthier and happier for you today?
Well, it's definitely healthier for me to have this little non-fiber drink. I'm just kidding. That was healthier and it makes me happy. But no, I think just even like laughing about yesterday's, like parenting situation, but it also even reminds me like, okay, that was a debacle. There were some other details that I spared you.
Okay, I was gonna say because and really it's a perspective thing too, though.
Yeah.
Like, without, because I'm looking, I'm like, that could be a that whole scenario, honestly, even the way you told it, could be a win on so many levels of like, we chose to try something as a whole family. We chose to get out in nature. Like the trying, the showing up for it. We
Yeah.
can't always expect the heavens to open up every time. But,
Right.
you know, I don't know
Yeah.
who to quote on this, but you miss every shot you don't take. Just saying.
Is that a Michael Jordan quote?
Maybe. It should
I
be.
don't know. It should be.
A lot of shots, but he takes a lot of shots. I don't know. Anyway, sorry.
I feel like Ethan would know.
You. But I did want to say, like, it's a like me as a fellow mom, my kids are a little bit older than yours, but I'm thinking when, Nolan, especially Nolan's age, when my kids are that age, I think so many pieces of that story would have been a win for me. So I want to cheer you on in
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah. And even like as I was telling it and I'm thinking back, there were moments even within like the whole thing that were wins. Like there were moments that I enjoyed. There were moments that Brooks enjoyed that we laughed. It wasn't like the whole thing was a total, debacle. There's other words coming to
I
mind
know
and
I have a different word in my mind.
avoiding.
Let's not say that.
I think we're on the same wavelength
Yeah,
here.
okay.
So there were lots of moments that we did like enjoy life, even within that scenario, even within the other parts of the story that I left out. So I think even just sharing that and then, our topic today and our conversation today, I'm like, yeah, there were like they had tantrums, they had fits, we had so many tears on the way home. We had all kinds of stuff, but it was still, I'm still glad that we did it.
Yeah.
Like I'm still glad that we went. I'm still glad that we did it. And it's not going to keep us from doing it again,
Yeah.
or
Good.
adventuring out after school
Good.
another day to do something else again.
Good.
So,
I love
that gives me a boost of like confidence and a boost of
it.
just feeling good,
Yeah.
honestly, all the things that we're really about.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
it's both questions, honestly, makes me feel happier and healthier. And this makes me feel happier and healthier too.
I love it. So
Mhm.
good. Okay, sweet. I love this. Okay, so I am going to challenge you, the listener, right now. Carly mentioned, what was it? Her brother and sister-in-law. One of their traditions is they actually said gratitude to each other. And so I am going to challenge you to think of a friend or two uh, that that could be your accountability partner for healthier, happier. So it doesn't need to be perfect, but could you reach out right now? Go to your podcast app, text a friend or multiple friends and say like, "Hey, could we be accountability partners? Listen to this episode and then let's talk about one of the things, whether it be gratitude or maybe if they're a close friend, I challenge you, someone that's like a safe person to really like talk about the things that you enjoy about your life right now and just like say it out loud. Start there. What you enjoy, the moments you're enjoying right now, and the percentage that you're enjoying your life on a day to day basis. And then also maybe what you're not enjoying and talk about those things as well. And it can be super, super powerful to have that accountability buddy to chat with about. So that's your challenge is share this right now, text it, email it, um, go on the Instagram app. It makes it harder to do it that way. In my opinion, Carly might say it makes it easier, Kiersten, but I'm just thinking go to your podcast app, go and text or email someone so that you can get accountability buddy.
Yeah.
And then, of course, don't forget to follow us on YouTube, on your podcast apps, and on Instagram at Healthier Happier Hour. And we want to hear how you're winning, what you're enjoying about your life, and where we can help you. And make sure you get on our list. What's the easiest way, do you think, to do that, to get on their list and get the invites for our pop-up happy hours, Carli?
Oh, easiest way to do that, scroll to the bottom of the episode. You can find the link in there. Go to www.healthierhappierhour.com. You'll see our picture there, so you'll know it's the right spot because you'll see our lovely smiling faces. And you can type your name and your email in there, and you'll get a nice little guide from us. It's going to help you reset your life, your health, your relationships too. And you'll know you're on your list when you get that. And it's a super easy way to connect, and you won't miss anything. You won't miss any of the exclusive happy hours that we do, any of the exclusive events just for our community. So scroll down, you'll see that in the description, or just go to www.healthierhappierhour.com.
That's right. Awesome. And we always like to leave with something like really tangible that you can do right now that will boost your health, boost. Now I have the lisp.
Boost. It'll boost.
My spa water has been spiked. No, I'm just kidding.
Your spa water.
I'm really disappointed with how quick this ice melted. Like, seriously.
My ice melted.
Come on. Anyway, we want to leave you with a boost of healthier and happier. So today, let's go ahead and, notice if you've been in motion during this time, or maybe you have. Props to you. Roll your shoulders back and down 3 times. Go like to number 3. Focus on your exhale. You can shake out your fingers, wiggle your toes. You can even jump around a little bit. And if it's safe to do so, close your eyes for a second. Let your shoulders drop away from your earlobes. Let the air go into your belly, and inhale. And a nice big belly breath. Hold that air in. And then exhale long. Do that again. And I want you to picture a moment. Once again, if it's not safe to close your eyes, don't close your eyes. But if you can, do it. Because we can see better oftentimes with our eyes closed. It's crazy. Kind of like shutting down the distraction, focusing on your breath. Letting the air come in your belly. Hold it. And exhale long. Drop your shoulders down. Sit or stand a little taller to the crown of your head. And I want you to think of a moment in the last 48 hours, a moment that you are enjoying your life. What pops into your head? Don't judge yourself for it. Think of a moment. And then later in your day, whether you know it or not, I bet your brain is going to go to work and get curious on that. You just highlighted and circled a moment in the last 48 hours. Blink your eyes open. And I like to do that with 3 moments before I fall asleep at night. And I'm going to remember to do that tonight, because 2 nights ago, I had a bad dream. And I hate waking up from a bad dream. It's like I feel like a 5-year-old. I'm like, oh, that was so bad. But when I really focus, when I remember to do that and to rehearse 3 moments in the last 48 hours that pop into my brain. 1, it's training my brain. It's getting those neural pathways down. It's, as Carli said, I'm going to look for those. If I tend to do it every night, I'm going to look for those moments during my day. And then I have better dreams too. So there we go.
Yeah, better dreams.
Trifecta of health.
Love it.
Yay!
Perfect. Cheers to that.
Cheers. We are cheering for you. Thanks for being here.
We are cheering for you.
Love having you here. We know that there's other things you could be doing with your time, but we are so grateful that you chose this. And let's go take some action on it. So text your friend, get on our list, and let's take the next steps together. Cheers.
Cheers.